Round 23, done and dusted, Mr. Nicky. We got away with a CY Wong, HIA, Britt Nickera, sin bin, and he'll be out for the rest of the year, it looks like. And the rest of it, we kind of got through injury-wise, but it was a week of pretty tough scores for the most part. I kind of just knew that first game, you need to have sort of three or four in that Storm game, and you probably got out okay, mate. A decent score for you with a 931. But as you just said to me, they're sort of just hanging with the rank at the moment. Hey, what's the play to improve from here? I saw you bought Sam Healey. Talk us through that one.
That was yeah, this is one that might come back to bite me at the end of the year.
Got
Um
a bit excited.
well, so the logic was I needed with May and you out, I needed a mid or a hooker.
Mm.
Uh and I didn't want to play Talon de Silva. So my
Fair.
options were, yeah,
He's
it's
soft.
like at least I got an extra, what, 10 points or something
Yeah,
from
true.
Healy. So, might be worth it. So the options were sell you, and because I didn't have Herbie, so I don't have Herbie money lying around. So I could either sell you and get whoever, or sell Bainu and get a cheapie to cover this week and then, see how it goes. And with my squad, and we talked about this before, because I've got a pretty low team value
Yeah.
compared to other guys. Like the end of my bench is pretty weak. Now, old LKT ended up,
Hey,
he's moving up. Yeah, he's
how
moving
good
up
is
in
he?
the,
He's
he's
ahead
he's
of
progressing from, 20th man into, 18th man at this point.
well, he's ahead of
Um,
he's ahead of Nawa probably. If he
they
just
had,
if he close to Galvin after the last 2 weeks,
he's definitely
maybe
he's
ahead of
definitely looking
Turbo,
better, isn't he?
maybe ahead of
He's
Turbo, or if he ahead of
yeah.
Tarpany at the moment.
It's just he's a gun. That's it. Keeper, gun. Everyone
He's
buy him.
looking better, looking
He
better and better.
definitely is. Like I think I said that a couple of. He's kind of growing into the role a bit, and
Yeah.
if they're trusting him more in terms of getting him more involved in things. But yeah, he's definitely moving up in the world. But yeah, with Fainu and De Silva and King Tong, yeah, and then yeah, all the other kind of guys, it's like there's not a lot of faith in the end of the bench there. So if I trade and Fainu as well, who's just kind of a spent force. So if I trade him and get a cheapie, then it covers me for this week and it bolsters the end of that bench because I will need to use it at some point as the trades run out and we get injuries and people on bye coming up. So
This week too
I,
with the two
mm,
Raiders. Yeah.
yeah. So I thought I'll hold on to you just to see what happens.
Hmm.
See if we get any more news. I could sell next week. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. How
And
many
then I'll
trades
sell
now?
five. I've got three left. So I
Yeah.
had four coming into this week and I needed to use the one regardless.
Gotcha.
And so I thought, well, with the news that Egan, well, it seems to change. Originally, he was out indefinitely. Now it's maybe 2 to 4 weeks
Yeah. So that's
with that
worked
shoulder
out.
injury. So, yeah, so it's kind of like, okay, if Healy plays 55, 60 minutes, which is what I thought he was going to do coming into
Hmm.
this week, then, he should be able to score 40s. And
Everyone was
he
pretty
covers.
awful in that game.
Hmm.
I think.
I'm hoping it was just the wet weather thing that, Freddie bloody Lussick comes in and plays 50 odd minutes, whatever it was. That's pretty, I didn't see that coming. But yeah, I thought you can cover me this week and then it bolsters the end of that bench if you can get into the 55, 60 minute area. He's somebody that can come in and get probably a better score than a Fainu would or a De Silva will, and
Yeah.
you know, bolsters it up a little bit. So that was the thinking. Unfortunately, when he only plays 30 minutes, that doesn't really bode well, but you got to try.
Bloody Freddie.
26 wasn't the worst score in the world. And yeah, hopefully he gets back in the side next week, starting side next week. But you know what bothers me about this game? And it's the NRL in general. It's like TLT, Teamless Tuesday. We all love Teamless Tuesday. They sit at work, wait until 4 o'clock to, see what's come out, and you'll do your video about it, and everyone else's videos about it. It means absolutely nothing. Like, why do we pay too much attention to it? It's like, oh,
Less and less.
here's a vague idea of what the team might be, but we're going to completely blow it up come Saturday anyway.
It's more just
Like
who's the
Boyd,
21 kind of thing.
yeah, it's like, oh, Tanner Boyd name to start. Nah, we'll, you know, send him off the cup and oh, Healy's named to start. Oh, we'll put you on the bench. Lussick kind of comes from nowhere and plays 50 minutes. It's like, I don't know. I don't get it. No other sport in the world announces their sides like basically a week before they have to play. So it's
That
just,
part's
yeah, it
true.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I get the injuries. Obviously, things happen in training. You need to change it, but I don't know. It just makes this really hard, where you
Mm.
think you know what you're doing, and then last minute we'll just change it. What happened to Michael Molo?
Oh
He
yeah,
was
that was
the
a random one. The
he was
Titans,
the
you had
other option. He was the
Water.
other option, and
They
yeah.
they had like four changes maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Warriors one was crazy.
Yeah.
It definitely happens more, and
Anyway.
because
Hmm.
that's your thing. Hey, it's like, well, okay, if you give them to me early, that's great. So I planned for that, and then yeah, if you can't check late and all that sort of stuff. Whereas I suppose the other sports, I know like NBL's coming up, so stick around, guys, for NBL Supercoach. We'll be getting into that following this, but with those, like making your round one team, you're waiting until they announce their squad, their team and their starting team and who's going to be on the bench, like 20 minutes before the game, each
Yeah.
game for round one. It's a wild time, and it's the same with the you get the like what I think for the cricket you get like a 17-man squad the day before or something, and then you're waiting for that half an hour before when they do the toss to get those teams. So yeah, it's not easy for us fantasy crew, but I suppose if you're still here watching in round 23, you're a bit of a diehard as well. So thanks to everyone for sticking around. But mate, the Eels did get up. I don't know how because Talon was trying to give it to the cows at the
Is
end
he going
there.
to
What
play
in the
again?
world was
Mitchell,
happening there?
I think Mitch Moses might, I don't know, drown him in the showers after the game or something. He was giving him volley after volley.
Yeah, everyone was like, yeah, we straight back to Carp. But I just don't understand. Like, I get that he was pretty decent at the Tigers, but like they finally he did play big minutes, Riley Smith. But you finally get a good youngster, and then they do everything they can to play him less minutes. Like he was getting near the 80, and then all right, Joey Lussick, you come back. All right, we're done with you. Now it's Talon De Silva, and you can get the 60 minutes each week, and Smith less apart from this week and he seemed to have great service. So like you finally get Moses back, and then you put someone in that definitely looks like that he's thinking for himself a little bit more, looking to run all this sort of stuff. When you've got the ball players of Moses out there, I don't know why you're not giving him early ball, but that was yeah, a wild time. And look, I personally couldn't have picked two worse trade-ins this week, and Hopgood was on the list of one of the cheaper guys. So if you jumped on there at 518, it was really a big benefit to you guys there at 65 in 65 minutes. Mate, if you've got someone, you got 50, 100K in the bank, and you're not really happy with your sort of 400 odd K guy, is he someone that you still target heading into the last few weeks?
I think at this stage, it's a lottery. A lot of it's a lottery at this stage.
Yeah, apparently.
4 weeks left. There's a lot. Variance plays such a big deal in this. If Hop could play 65 minutes a week, he could,
Definitely.
he's like a top five mid probably. So yeah, like if you want to take a punt on it, and it is a punt because you could go back to 40 odd minutes next week and it's a waste of time. But
Was he 50 last week? They had a few more, couple more edges on the bench this week, hey? So
yeah, I think
maybe it's
since
around
they've
that
moved
who
them,
they
like
named.
moved them into because he was basically splitting with Dylan Walker that lock position at the start of the
True.
year, and then since they've
Now he's
moved
a
him into
prop.
the yeah, it's like, oh, we we'll play him for more minutes. So I think the role's better. It's just one of the like again, most people have a couple of trades left. Are you going to use your last trade, second last trade on a punt on a 500k guy? And you absolutely could because yeah, if he's playing 60 plus minutes, I mean, him playing 60 minutes might be more reliable than a Tapane and a Fanua Blake and all of these guys. So you can absolutely take the punt if you want. It's just anything at this stage is kind of a punt, really,
Yeah.
because with 4 weeks, anything can happen.
Probably feels like Riley ended up scoring pretty well, but like if you've got Riley Smith, if you've got Purdue and have an extra 150, or
Mm.
like those kind of upgrades are probably where it's at, or a injured
Yeah, like
non-player.
if I'd had an extra 100k, because my two options for this week were Healy or Michael Molo at like 440 because I had a bit
Yeah,
in the bank. So if I had an extra
better
70k or
him.
whatever it was I needed, Hopgood would have obviously been in like a much better option than that. I just couldn't quite reach up to.
Hmm. Drinky, mate, he got his kicking in general playback. He was the highest of the lot, I believe, 296. I did and got to 329. So kind of split that there, even with Clifford in the team. So that was good news for owners of him. No attacking stats and getting 49. I think owners would take that, right?
Absolutely. Losing the goal kicking is a bit annoying.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, like this is fine. It's like I saw a lot of, like people like trading him out, using their last few trades to like move on from a drinky to somebody. I don't like. I think if you've got him, you just keep him and kind of hope for
Yeah,
the best at this stage. He is one of these people that could go. He could average 60 for the rest of the year. You know, he's in the
gets the
three
attack.
games they've got left. Then yeah, like he's absolutely fine. It's if you can loop him. He's on the list of, and I've got about five guys in my team, but he's one of the one top list of if people you can loop.
Yep.
He's great. But yeah, like moving, making trading people like that out, or trading out a Yo to not play a Drinkwater, I think wasn't a good use of trades this week either.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair. And like
but
playing
yeah.
later in the week, it's pretty easy to start him over a 35 or whatever we copped this week. So
Mm.
it wasn't a tough decision, thankfully, and it helped people on that one, which was nice. He had Purdue 48 with a double. Papali, Joe Ash there, 41 for him. If it was going to be a dry game, I thought this would be a good one against the Cows, and he showed that compared to his 20 last week. So he's going to, against okay teams, not the Storms and these types of squads, I think he'll be able to score well enough to play over a 30, comfortably if you're looking to loop and they play later in the week type of deal there. So that worked out. Jeremiah and I became half an option at 459. He lobbed a 25, and
Next year,
yeah, he'll
mark him
be.
in the book for next year.
What's he going to be? He'll be that awkward, like, 500 or something, which will be a bit yucky. Mate, what about this Titans-Bunnies clash? Jaden Campbell, captain as of him, would have been loving the beautiful line break he made to drop the footy over the line. Good little try. What, 10-pointer for Latrell? I was loving that as an owner of Campbell and a non-owner of Latrell, hey? You agree?
It was I just put the bloody ball down, mate. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
You're a good kicker anyway,
Um,
so
I know, and he wasn't even like out wide.
no,
He was only
had
he was
no
only a
idea.
few meters to the right. Yeah, just that was what
That's a
yeah, 12
12-point
point
play or
swing
something.
or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Captainers would have yeah, exactly. Been
Well, they
throwing
would have
things at the TV, but
would have beat
he got up to a
Kiwi.
decent enough got up to a decent enough score that you haven't really lost out, but
Yeah.
compared to a Cleary. But yeah.
Yep.
Just put the bloody ball down, mate.
Latrell Mitchell back, which means Johnson might break his record. Another double for him. He's getting closer. It's exciting. And Latrell,
Yep.
57, just doing a bit of everything. Hey, you got two try savers,
Mm.
two turnover tackles. He seems to be involved in a lot of those plays because he's a bit of, he can manhandle them and bundle people into touch and stuff like that. So, yeah, even at center there, was able to lob out a good score. And I think it was over 100 people, mate, in the top 1,000 that jumped him in their side. So used one of their last trades to get Latrell, and you can see here it wasn't a lot of great scores in the in the big Briggins. Preston under 50, along with Fermor, Donahue, and Kaipis Paul, though apparently he's been updated to 53, which is not
Oh,
fun
okay.
for me. And then Carrigan, a good 50, 55 from him, 40 odd from Katoa, 24 from
The
Gagai, and then
Gags.
60 odd from Munster and a 50 odd from Lindsay. So just a bit of a awful week for that. And yeah, we saw that with the overall rankings with Andrew managing to hold his position actually and increase that a little bit. And we'll discuss a little bit more in results. But this can happen sometimes. Hey, like you save those extra trades and like I used three myself this week and practically gave back all the ranks that I gained last week. And it can be that way, hey, because as you said, the run of the mill and how it roll the dice, I should say, as to how it all plays out. The guys you're holding, they're pretty similar to the guys that are available, and it's just to see how it works on the day. Hey, it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough
It's
how it
like a few
works. A
weeks
lot of
ago I made
40s,
yeah.
30s.
I made three trades a couple of weeks ago, and all of the three guys I brought in outscored, or sorry, the guys I took out outscored the guys I brought in.
Yeah,
It's always a nice feeling when you do that, isn't it?
yeah. And then I was my trade-ins are going to be Jolliffe and Munster, and ended up Ford or trade at Yo to get the extra cash to go up, and and then Ford for 21, disgusting, and Donahue for his biggest rest that he's had in a month or so. So that was good. It just yeah, that's the Nicky kind of luck, isn't it?
Absolutely. Although Donaghy managed to get he got a turnover for his flying headbutt into Siwa Wong, so he got a little bit of luck along the way, but
And didn't
and he
get
managed
HIA, I suppose.
yeah, and he didn't get suspended, oh, not suspended, he didn't get sin binned like half the other guys
No, that
in
Naf
that game
White.
did.
He ended up scoring right, surprisingly, Naf, didn't he,
Mm,
for getting the early bin? But I think that probably is what hurt Kurt in the end was that the other guys had that rest. And it was like,
mm,
well, we'll take off the guy that hasn't had any rest there. So hopefully that does change next week. But yeah, typical of this week, I think, mate. Both Moore goes over
mm,
for an early try and still can't get
mm,
get to 50 was one of my trade-ins. So I was weighing them down this week. Hopefully a little
mm.
R24 is better for these guys. But with these Titans, mate, they've got a pretty nice run and they'll yeah, be real in this loss and hopefully guys like him can continue with some of the attack like we saw
Yeah,
with
he,
Gamble.
he he got punted out to center for the last 20 minutes or
Yeah.
something. They had a few parts moving around, so that didn't help.
We had Duncan, mate, he moved back to the edge, but ended up with 8 missed tackles. So not a fun one for him there. And Brandon Smith a little bit all over the shop as well. Good to see him back out there, I suppose,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and for them to get a few players back. But then you got Jamie Humphries made a 23 for him with Latrell back. He
With the
didn't actually
kick
do a
meters.
lot of kicking. So like, yeah, you think Latrell would come out with that, but he didn't actually kick the footy at all. And yeah, still a shocker for Humphries in the end. 13 tackles at half was a pretty strange game there, wasn't it? Like obviously a lot of errors and like Burfo Moore playing most of the game at edge, 25 tackles. Like it's just a
Mm.
Duncan was pretty low. Campbell Gillard 54 minutes for 22 tackles. Just a pretty average game for that. Was the highest. Yeah, Jolliffe 70 minutes and then Verrills. So really just a couple of the Titans middles, Randall there that got those stats and the rest of it was like he needed the tries and yeah, tackle breaks and offloads to kind of get a decent score there, hey. Or
Yeah.
try savers for
Or try savers,
for
turnover
Latrell.
tackles.
There's weird games
Yeah.
like that week to week, hey. So that was looks
There
like
was a
that was
few of
one
them
of
this
them.
week. Yeah.
This one was a disgusting game. Oh my God. Two scores over 50. I was looking at that. I was out at a friend's 30th, and every time I looked up on the screen, Ford was making a tackle. I was
Mm.
like, "Oh, this will be all right." And then I look, and it was like 37 minutes in. He was on 13, and he was one of I think four people that were over 10 just before halftime for the Warriors. I was like, "What?" I think Clark was
Yeah,
on
I
like
was
16 in 34 minutes, and I was like, "What is going on?"
yeah, I was out on Saturday. I only saw the second half of this and yeah, I was following Healy. It took me 10 minutes into the game to realize he wasn't playing. He was like,
Oh,
surely he
okay.
must have made a tackle by now. Just checking the scores and
Yeah, okay.
yeah, when I watched the second half, it was like this is terrible.
Thank goodness you got a try
Mm.
out of him in
Saved
the
it. Yeah,
second
or
half. But yeah, Preston to be third on the list with a dirty 45
mm,
and 46 run meters. So yeah, just games in the wet the last 2 weeks, and it doesn't even look like it's getting any better this week coming in Sydney at least. So Carraz out the back there, one try assist, two line break assist for him. Sort of like decent stats, but yeah, still can't get a big score. Kick out with a try and a line break of 45. Like it's yeah, hello Bo Fermor. Yeah, Clarkey, 39 and 61, pretty gross, but in the same, like, probably just have to chalk this down to a bit of a shocker overall. Like, even Roger with a try, like, he's been scoring pretty well. Fisher Harris, 27 and 49, so it was bad for all of them. And, yeah, I'm going to move on from this one. 40 boy, just getting
yeah,
50s for fun in these minutes too, to then,
yeah, 8 missed
21, like
tackles.
you
Oh,
look at a
what's that?
35 and go, yeah, that's fine, but like,
Yeah,
how do you get 21 in 60 minutes?
neg. Well, neg 20, that's why.
Well, yeah, don't see that. But yeah, like you add, even if you take away 16, like it's still 37. It's
Yeah, still not
disgusting.
good. Still not good.
And a turnover
Galvin,
tackle.
yeah, yeah. Galvin got up to some reasonability, but he was on when I was checking the score in the first half and wasn't watching. He was on about 2 points in 20 odd
Mm,
minutes. He kind of got back. It's good kick meters. He's mad.
Pretty
That was the issue with him last week. He didn't kick the ball, whereas the week before and this week he's kind of splitting it with Burton.
Yeah.
So there's at least a bit of base there and still no attack. But yeah, I didn't have to play him this week because of King Tonga. And a few weeks ago we were talking about what's the option or what's the best option, Humphreys, Boyd, and Galvin, and that kind of same price point. And the answer currently is none of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they've all had at least one shocker. We did lose Halasima to a HIA, but he came back and played the rest, so he'll be fine with that. And which other games have I not done? What in the world was this one? Roosters
Yes.
64 to 12 and
Oh.
Nwangani Tuaze with a lovely what
Mm.
triple in the end? Did he end up? Yeah,
Yep.
triple and only
Yeah,
getting
hat trick. Yeah.
40? What is going on? What a week.
All those negatives. He loves an error. And a lot of his errors aren't like bad errors. It's going up for speckies and
Yeah,
knocking them on and
the low max
stuff.
specials.
Yeah, that's something. Again, I think every year in the off season we have a complaint around scoring and what they need to change. But the fact that you can get the easiest, like catch the ball on the wing and walk over for a try, and you get a 12 point, get the line break, get the try, get some run meters, but you take an absolute specky over somebody from a kick and get the ball down and you get pure points. Like, they need to get something in there for some kind of spectacular try point or something. But he's that was the problem here. He got a couple of those specky tries, but didn't get a line break, didn't get tackle breaks. He just kind of falls over the line with it.
Yeah, and
Disappointing.
then you have the errors in the air and that kind of stuff, which
Mm.
yeah, you're just trying to help your squad and they're not, crappy errors. It's hard, yeah, but that's the thing. Like every offload's so different as well.
Mm.
Some offloads are try scoring efforts and some, they roll out the back and lose your 10 meters and stuff. So it's all over the shop. But welcome back to life, Teddy. I think, he
Yeah,
gave us
those
back
that were
all the 20s,
complaining about last
30s.
week's 30, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
this
then
is
Sammy
Teddy.
Walker was the call. I had him as a pretty good buy in mid 500s, but I was looking at it was him and CY Wong in that level, and it was more just like how many Roosters do you want? And in this game, it was well a decent amount, but not too many because we had Watson having a shocker, and but yeah, Walker's going to be the guy over this next little bit, the goal kicking and yeah, generally he's going to have a couple of try assists a game to go along with a little bit of base there, and didn't have to be much in this one, but he can score in so many different ways. If they smash him, it's going to be less kick meters, try assists. He's going to have goals. Yes, he's going to do it in multiple different ways and at a mid range and a team that is fighting for that top 8 spot. They're not going to rest. He's a fun one, definitely there. Do you any interest in him as a bit of a flyer to finish off the year?
Well, I do have Hines out in a couple of weeks, and
Mm.
with Galvin not really being reliable, maybe I'll need a half, so he could be a flyer. But
Probably
yeah,
depends if
I
it's
don't
an
know.
injury. Hey,
Yeah, like,
a half injury.
exactly. And he's not going to get 20 points in goals
Yeah,
most weeks you wouldn't expect. So yeah, he's in that, cheaper, not quite gun, but could go be really hot for a few weeks territory.
yeah. And then Savala, big Andrew end up playing Savala over the Turbos and Garricks and the
Mm.
like. So a massive one for him in with the 58 there. And anyone's still holding on. And yeah, mate, I was actually pretty impressed with Nafahu White being able to get the 47 with the sin bin. He's had such a good year. He's been
Mm.
he's been special for those Roosters. And then since buying Isaiah Katoa, mate, he can't bag a 50 at the moment. And the team's kind of fallen off a cliff since obviously snuck the win, but fallen off a cliff since poor Herbie went down, and I think that was the last injury that broke the camel's back because
Yeah, they've done so well
didn't look
with
good. Yeah,
the squad that they've got, but yeah, they've got kind of the look of a team that's had a hard year, and it's kind of, they might have reached their limit now, but yeah, we'll
mm.
see.
I'm glad he started running the footy after 20, 30 meters or whatever he had last week. So if he can have those types of lines again, then for him to get 45 in a thrashing, I think is actually good for other weeks where he can have a bit of a closer game and do a little bit better. Marshall King, he's had a good couple of weeks down to a 41. I cannot work out Angus Crichton this year. Hey, it's wild.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like he was one when I got him. There was that bit in the back of my mind that was, because we know what he can do, and he was like, even now at his price, you'd say he's still undervalued, but he got to that price not through injuries or not through like bad luck or whatever. It's just he just hasn't been scoring well this year.
Just okay. Yeah.
And yeah, and it still is. It's still that. I mean, if they ran in what, 10 tries, 11 tries, and he got no attacking stats whatsoever, one tackle break, one offload,
Yeah.
just not involved.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can look at it and go, oh, he's still got 40, like, which
Mm.
is okay with nothing. But these are the games where you'd hope that he rolls over for a couple and just, yeah, it's not happening. We still averaging
Mm.
50, like, still an okay year, but yeah, not everything we expected. I think I had someone last week ask Crichton or someone else in a similar range, and I was like, oh, it just doesn't feel like he's got the chances to
Mm.
go 60s at the moment, which, yeah, showed in this one. Yeah, Donahue made the trade in the week. It was just a product of getting that bit of a rest, and then just so much standing behind the sticks. Like he didn't do much wrong here. 31 tackles, two misses, and 62 run meters, which yeah, he's getting near 100 if he plays bigger minutes and if the team has more ball. So just an annoying sort of week to get him, but overall probably will be fine. One I'm a little bit more worried about is
Mm.
Watson with those minutes. Came on, yeah, 50, getting a 55-minute stint and got that try assist early, but yeah, when you rely on tackles, 64 points is not gonna do the job for you.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, it's
another
kind
one.
of
Like there's just
a
other
freak
guys you'd
game.
buy over him at that price, eh?
Yeah, yeah, especially with people selling Herbie. If you sold Yo, or even if you didn't sell Yo this week, but selling this week, we've got so much cash around that you can pretty much take your pick. And yeah, he's down the pecking order now.
Of course, it starts happening once we've already bought him, as it
Mhm.
goes. We have those, hey. That's the thing. If you have heaps of trades to finish the year, it just
Mhm.
changes, hey. Like guys that you
I
can
was like
rely on all year, they just fall off a cliff.
like one of the reasons I didn't trade Yo this week when I could have was just I had no idea who to get. When you can buy anyone in the game.
Yeah,
But there's so
wasn't as
many
clear.
options that all feel around the same level.
Mm.
There's nobody that really stood out. And the trades that you made were very reasonable trades, but were a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, they can have their own
Um,
bad weeks. Yep.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, we always say if you're not sure on a trade, don't make it. Wait till
Yep,
next, and see how it plays out. So yeah,
definitely. And then just a few here, like guys like Lemuelu was a good trade in last week, but then Finn comes back and yeah, takes the 80 minutes and then he lobs a 49-minute 15, so that was good. And then Siwa Wong again, just a good process pick and just get absolutely cooked with that. Well, he got absolutely cooked, and I'm hoping
yeah.
he's okay. But just yeah, an unlucky one with him as well. So pretty sad across the board with those few there. Poor Mitchy. Can't wait to hear from him tomorrow on that one.
I wasn't going to mention his name, but when you first mentioned Wong and somebody else at the start of the thing, it's like, oh, that's just all Mitch's team. We're just going through having
Yeah.
a bad week.
Oh, mate, actually, this one came out of this one feeling pretty good. Like, it could have been a little bit better. Like, I just find the Sharks so frustrating for how good they should be. Like, Nico should be getting 70s and 80s. Like, the last 2 years, I've just noticed that, God, they just butcher it all the time. Like, they have so much opportunity and then they just drop a ball or do something. Like, so this was one of those ones where I felt he could go nuts and lobbed a 56 with a good little finish at the end until the error. But
Mm,
yeah, I was happy with that, especially with how the rest of the week was going on. Fiona Brayley, the 62 was really nice, mainly in tackling, so he's doing it in both ways, attack and defense. Some good scores from Adam Fanor-Blake, King Tonga for those that had to play him, and Nicholas 46. Like the Sinbin was annoying. Like I think Cook was on 48, dropped down to a 42, but generally a pretty
mm,
solid game, mate, and a great win for the Dragons. So back to back,
yeah.
what top six teams they've toppled over. So yeah, good on them. Good on him.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this game, mate, overall?
Hines is, yeah, like it doesn't seem to matter what the game is, what he does in the game, he gets
50.
somewhere between 47 and 57. Yeah, it's like that's it. You'll just lock him up. It's like Fogger, like Fogs will, well, before this week or the last couple of weeks
Last
would do
week.
that. Doesn't really matter what happens, he'll get a 50. But Nico does it in this really weird way. You'll be all over the shop, but you'll check the score at the end of the week and it's a 50. So you go, yeah, that's fine.
His tackles have
I love that.
been so good the
Yeah.
last few years, though.
Mm.
Just a mid
Yes,
20s
and we
regular.
just know he's got that 80, 90 in him, and we'll be frustrated, but he'll take the 50s, especially with a week like this. There was so many disappointing scores. A 56 is
That was
a
great.
pretty good result. And yeah, King Tonga just kind of gets better and better.
I think since we gave him crap for defense a couple of weeks ago, the last two, he's looked better on that side of it, and he's running the footy well, and yeah, 24 tackles, one
Mm.
miss, kicking a
Kicking
lot more
kicking the
kicking
ball
this
quite a
week.
bit. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, I
So
think it feels like they're,
getting
I mean,
safer.
and it might just be, yeah, like, he's a young half. They bring him in and they give him a kind of limited role to begin with.
Yeah.
And then it kind of grows and grows from there. And he just, yeah, getting more involved in things. He said kicking the ball more, a couple of offloads in there. So he's kind of expanding his game and not exactly somebody you want to
Well, it's
play,
reasonable next
but
week.
he was, a
Got the
good option
Wires.
this week to the fact that I was able to loop him this week definitely helped out.
I think there's a good chance he's in my 17 next week. Like, even if I was to make a trade for the Raiders, like we can loop him in that second game really comfortably, and I think he can do okay against the Wires there as well. But yeah, just something to note with the Sharkies boys that one more week for them and then they're bye. So to see where you're at trades wise, we'll get into a little bit more in detail. But like in top 1,000 there, we've got 167 Gornskis out of trades, 200 with one. So yeah, really use that one wisely and 230 odd with two. So we're getting to the end, and a big thanks to everyone who has jumped in and is yeah checking out the vid still. Have made any sort of final thoughts for your squad? Anything sort of pressing or what you're wanting to do with those three? Are you holding, using one? What are we thinking for next week?
Well, this week, I mean, a lot of it will depend on Yo. If he's back,
Okay.
that's awesome. I'm not really expecting him to be back.
Yeah,
I
another
think
week
it
probably.
maybe have at least one more week, but if he's back, that's awesome. But yeah, I've got Tapani out, I've got Hosking out, which isn't great. So I'll probably need another trade. So Hosking has kind of been on. I think you talked about this. I think you're in the same position.
Yeah,
You talked
same.
about it in the Raiders game that,
Same trades too.
probably, yeah, probably have to trade. One of them, probably Hosking. I think, yeah, the minutes for Taps isn't great, but we know he can get 60. He's coming off a 60 plus 70,
Yeah.
whatever it was. And Hosking getting 60 minutes isn't great. Probably needs a try to get up to those really good scores. So probably moving on from him and to I've got a couple of 100K in the bank. So yeah, you can basically open
Same situation.
it's anybody. It's anybody in the game. And there's about a
That'll
dozen
help you.
options probably that yeah can do that. But
Probably have
um
to because you got all the cheapies, hey?
yeah, and that's one of the things about
Rely
him
on him.
bringing Healey in was that he could be a more reliable GP scorer,
Yeah.
but I need him to get that 55, 60 minutes, whatever it is, rather than the bench role for that to work out. So hopefully that'll happen and they realize that Betty Lussick is not the answer. Um, but yeah, we'll see. If I've got you out, Tapney out, Hosking out, De Silva essentially out, he's irrelevant. Healy off the bench, then yeah, that's a lot of gaps that need to be filled. So like maybe I trade you if there's word that it's going to be more than another week. You and Hosking out to a couple of guns and then leave me one trade for the last 3 weeks. Something like that could work. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the news comes out.
Yeah, we're still in an okay trading situation there. What did we lose? 2 points for Campbell. Furmore stayed the same. 46. What's that one up? No, same. Same there. What do we got? Latrell at 59. Humphries 24. Duncan 40. That's all we need, eh?
Yeah. I mean, something like Talis Duncan as well. I saw a lot of people were trading him out, which
That's
is
the same.
kind of fair with him at center. But if you're down to your last few trades, trading out red dots, green dots, especially when things could turn out for them, you just have to be kind of really selective, I think, on these trades. And yeah, we saw bringing in supposed guns can be a bit of a failure, and the people we don't want to play, like a King Tonga, can come out and give us good scores. So
Why don't you just
it's
get
all
Trell,
it's a
mate?
bit of
Just get Trell
lottery.
again.
Just get Trail again. Yeah, I've got to say my last trade to get Bradman best, and just to
Oh,
just to
what do you get?
round out the year. Might as well. What
We
the
have a line
hell?
break, try assist, and only get 33 or something, the poor fella.
That's basically his season. Just when he gets the
30
ball
and
in a bit of
70.
space, he looks awesome, and you're like, wow, if they just did that, if they gave him like Herbie ball
Hmm.
of just getting it out to him, like he could. I mean, he's
True.
not going to average 60 like Herbie, but he has that type of game that he can rip teams apart. It's just the Knights haven't been able to,
Well, similar with
utilize him. But
Kohler, hey, they just don't give him enough
mm.
ball.
So yeah, maybe the option is I just hope for Bradman to go badly to the end of the year and then get him in the starting team next year again and
What's he? He's sitting at like a
build him up.
47 average or something, maybe?
Yeah, he's still like he's well, around that 600K mark. So he's still up. He's up slightly from the start. He started about 570, something like that.
Yeah.
So he's still above his starting price in terms of his scoring. But
That's all the
yeah.
fun stuff. Once we get to round 27, hey, it's like, oh,
Oh,
what
that's
price are they going to
sexy.
be? We're already thinking about next year and doing our reviews and stuff. So good stuff, mate. We'll leave that one there, and we've got 4 rounds to go, and I am keen to get into all those reviews, and hopefully it's just a little bit of a nicer week overall, and we see some big sixties from all our players even, and it's a bit more fun viewing, especially as we all get a bit tired through the end of the season. So let's see how the top four and the top eight shakes out, and we'll go from there, mate. Thanks for joining, and come on, top 5K, let's go.
Next week. Gotta be the week, right? Gotta be.
Next year it's top 100, so yeah, next week
Oh,
5K.
absolutely.
We'll
Yeah.
build from there. See you, team.